Boosts to Social Security. There's a new bill out. Take a look at the latest headlines. Social Security benefits could be dramatically changed under this new bill coming out April the 25th. Also, Social Security's COLA formula could change under the new proposal. This is the same bill we're talking about, and that means higher benefits for seniors. And also, it's called the Boosting Benefits and COLAs for Seniors Act, and this is coming out from Senator Bob Casey. We're going to be discussing it in more detail, and it sure would be nice to see boosts in benefits, as we've recently heard from Martin O'Malley, the new commissioner of Social Security, that Social Security is currently in a crisis. This is an update that has come out. He covers a lot of the same information that we recently heard from John Larson, and I shared with you that video footage as well. Stick around to the end. We're going to do some more updates on that, but let me know your thoughts. Boosts to Social Security. I'm going to be sharing with you the details of how they're planning to do this, so that way you know the latest of what's coming out. And hopefully here soon we'll see one of these pieces of legislation pass. People have been waiting for quite some time that depend on these fixed income benefits. And if that is you, if you're somebody that collects Social Security, SSI, SSDI, any of the fixed income benefits from the Social Security Administration, well, I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. Now let's go ahead and dive right in. But before we do me a quick favor. If you appreciate the updates, don't forget, take a second. Hit that like button for me, helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. Hit subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. Why not? And also to stay connected off of social media platforms, consider joining the newsletter at www.steveramnews.com. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so a link in the description below to this article that just came out yesterday that says Social Security benefits could be dramatically changed under this new bill. Now, as you saw, this bill came out from Bob Casey, but also Ruben Gallego. A newly proposed bill introduced by Arizona Representative Ruben Gallego, a Democrat, could change how the yearly cost of living adjustment to Social Security benefits is calculated, potentially boosting checks for retirees and other recipients. Now, the proposed legislation, called the Boosting Benefits and COLAs Act, is an attempt to amend Title II of the Social Security Act to require the Commissioner of Social Security, Martin O'Malley, to use the Consumer Price Index for the Elderly Consumer, or the CPIE, to calculate the yearly cost of living adjustment, or COLA, instead of the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners or clerical workers, known as the CPIW. So currently they use the CPIW, but they're saying a more accurate reading of how to adjust for inflation for the elderly and those that are collecting Social Security would actually be using the CPIE. Should the CPIW be higher than the CPIE, the first should be used instead of the latter. So they're saying use whichever of the two is highest. The annual COLA is currently based on the percentage increase in the CPIW between the third quarter of the previous year and the third quarter of the current year. If there's no increase, there's no COLA. The idea is to adjust Social Security benefits so that they can keep pace with inflation. In 2024, the COLA was 3.2%, which was a much smaller boost than the previous year when the adjustment was 8.7%. But Gallego argues that this formula doesn't consider the specific costs that retirees have to face, which are different than the rest of the American population. For example, medical expenses weigh more heavily on elders than younger people, a number which is reflected in the CPIE but not necessarily in the CPIW. Now, rising costs means Arizona seniors on Social Security see the real value of their benefits decrease, Gallego said in a written statement last week after introducing the legislation. My new bill puts more dollars in the pockets of Social Security recipients to pay their bills, get their medications, and pay for housing. It's only right. Arizona's seniors earn their Social Security benefits. Now, according to Roman Ullman, president of the AFSCME, Arizona Retirees Chapter 97, the current way to calculate the annual COLA does not account for the inflation seniors see in the healthcare costs, he said in a written statement. It's important that the COLA reflects how inflation impacts seniors so that we can pay our bills and our monthly Social Security checks stay strong. A companion bill to Gallego's Boosting Benefits and COLAs Act was introduced in the Senate in March by Senator Bob Casey of Pennsylvania, a Democrat. It passed. The proposed legislation would apply to determinations made with the respective cost of living adjustment computation quarters ending on or after September 30th of 2024. So if this goes through, it will be applied to this year, September of 2024. Now also, here's a look at Bob Casey's Boosts and Benefits and COLA Seniors Act. And if we scroll down, you can see where they mention CPIE and CPIW switching that. And here's a quick summary of it. It says, it is critical that we protect and expand benefits for older adults who rely on them, And Boosting Benefits and COLAs for Seniors Act will make much needed changes to the COLA calculations, resulting in higher benefits that are reflective of the experiences of older adults. Specifically, the Boosting Benefits and COLAs for Seniors Act would do the following. Direct the Social Security Administration to adjust benefits based on CPIE rather than CPIW, and if the CPIE would result in a larger increase in benefits, then they're going to use the larger of the two. And it also directs the Bureau of Labor Statistics to calculate and publish the CPIE on a monthly basis. Now, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Would you like to see this be one of the priorities of the Social Security Commissioner, Martin O'Malley, who is newly in that position? Well, we recently heard him say that Social Security, it is currently in a state of crisis, and he laid out some of his priorities for us. It says the Social Security program is currently facing a customer service crisis, according to the Social Security Administration's new commissioner, former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley. We're in a customer service crisis right now, O'Malley said, talking on the agency's podcast SSA Talks in an episode released on Thursday. It's not normal, it's not acceptable, and it's not right that the people who have worked their entire lives to earn the benefits should have to wait for 44 minutes to an hour or more in order to have their questions answered. Now, O'Malley was sworn into his new role in late December of 2023, so he just started the year off as the new commissioner for Social Security, replacing Kilolo Kijikazi. After the SSA came under fire following an investigation that revealed that the agency had asked for billions of dollars back from beneficiaries and overpayments. The investigation was followed by a hearing from the House Ways Means Committee, which prompted the SSA to promise a review of its procedures around benefit overpayments. Explaining what the agency's priorities are going to be under his leadership, O'Malley mentioned the challenges that Social Security beneficiaries are facing because of the agency's lengthy and sometimes troubling procedures. So he is saying right now this is one of his top priorities, but let me know your thoughts. Are there other more pressing matters in Social Security that you think should be addressed at this time? How about boosting the benefits, extending the solvency, taxation issues? There's an assortment of different things that need to be addressed. Now, this particular piece of legislation that we heard about, the Boosting Benefits and COLAs Act, this is one of many bills that are currently out there, but we're waiting to see what bill will get traction and actually get passed to help out those that are depending on these benefits. And we actually heard John Larson mention this, and he covered all the details thoroughly. I shared with you that interview, one of the best interviews I've seen on Social Security in quite some time, as he discussed boosting the benefits, increases across the board, taxation changes, an assortment of different things. And if you want to see the latest on that, be sure to check out this video right here next, as I covered it in detail for you. And as I mentioned, I'll be sure to keep you up to date as more stuff comes out, more pieces of legislation, and we'll see what happens with Social Security. But that is the latest, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.